No one will really understand politics until they understand that politicians are not trying to solve our problems. They are trying to solve their own problems, of which getting elected and re-elected are number one and number two. Whatever is number three is far behind.
Okay, so today we're going deep into the world of politics, but
Okay.
with a bit of a cynical twist, right?
Right.
We're going to look at why politicians do what they do.
Sure.
And, you might just end up seeing things a bit differently by the time we're done.
Interesting.
So to kind of unpack all this, right,
Yeah.
we're going to focus on this quote.
Okay.
It's from an economist and social theorist, Thomas Sowell.
Right.
Now, he's known for having, sharp viewpoints. Sometimes they're even a little controversial.
Yeah.
But this quote, well, this one really stands out.
I'm intrigued. What is it?
It goes like this. No one will really understand politics until they understand that politicians are not trying to solve our problems. They're trying to solve their own problems, of which getting elected and reelected are number one and number two.
Right.
Whatever's number three is far behind.
Wow.
So what do you think? Cynical, accurate, a bit of both?
Well, first off, I got to say, it's definitely a statement that makes you think. And yeah, maybe it comes across as cynical at first,
Yeah.
But when you really dig into it,
Yeah.
I think, honestly, there's a lot of truth there.
Interesting.
I mean, look at our political system.
Yeah.
It's set up in a way that makes politicians think about the next election all the time.
So you're saying that even those who actually want to do good,
Exactly.
they're still trapped in this system where they got to think about their own survival first.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not always about being selfish, or being power hungry or something like that.
Okay.
It's more about understanding the rules of the game.
The game of politics.
Exactly. If you don't win elections, well,
You can't really do anything you set out to do.
right. It doesn't matter how great your ideas are.
Yeah, makes sense.
If you can't get into office and stay there, you can't make them happen.
That makes me think about something else.
What's that?
How politicians are always under pressure to deliver,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
to show results quickly. And because of that, do you think they sometimes, maybe, go for those quick wins? Even if those wins are just temporary fixes.
I think that happens a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It's way easier to get people excited about a policy that has immediate impact.
Right.
Even if it doesn't really solve the root of the problem.
Right.
But tackling those big, complex issues,
The ones that need a long-term commitment.
those are a tough sell.
Definitely.
Because they might not deliver those clear wins before the next election rolls around.
It's all about those election cycles, huh?
Pretty much.
And then, of course, you've got those special interest groups.
Oh, yeah.
And lobbyists, right?
Yeah, girl, damn.
They have a huge impact on all this. So they
Absolutely.
pump money into campaigns, and they try to steer policy decisions their way.
Yeah, it adds a whole other layer to this,
For sure.
Politicians are kind of stuck in the middle.
Right in the middle.
They've got to keep their constituents happy, but they also have to deal with the demands of these groups.
Yeah.
And sometimes those demands don't really match up with what's good for everyone else.
So where does this leave us, the voters?
That's the big question.
Are we just pawns in this game?
That's a good way to put it.
Or can we actually make smart choices?
I think we can.
Even with all this going on behind the scenes.
The key is understanding how it all works,
Knowing the game, so to speak.
Exactly. When we can see through the fancy speeches and promises,
Yeah.
when we start asking who's really winning from a certain policy, that's when we become more informed, more powerful.
So maybe what Sowell was saying,
Yeah.
it's not just cynicism.
Maybe it's more than that.
It's like a wake-up call.
A call to be more critical, more aware.
Exactly.
No.
It's a reminder to not just take things at face value,
Right.
to think about what's really motivating the decisions that affect us.
I like that.
So here's something to think about.
What?
As you go about your day, think back to a recent political debate, one that maybe left you feeling frustrated or confused.
Yeah, I think I have one in mind.
Now, look at that debate again,
Okay.
but this time, see it through the lens of this quote.
That's interesting.
Does it change how you see things?
It might?
Does it shed light on what might have really been at stake for those involved?
I'll have to think about that.
That's something we'll leave you to ponder.
Good food for thought.
We'll see you next time.
Looking forward to it.
All right, take care.
You too.